volume 0%.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another Blind Builds episode of my Modular Cave System. Today, we will be going over a base for your modular cave. You always need a base. In the previous Modular Cave episode, we talked about an idea I had for a little, cool little bridge. And then I got a little irritated because I couldn't remember if the panel was blue or not that I was going to use for the base. And since it was the base, I couldn't change it around. So I had to wait for a friend with sight to come by. And once they came by, I showed them a selection of bases, and they pointed out this one as being the blue base. Woot! And they also helped me find my blue sort box, which I totally forgot I had already sorted a bunch of blue. So we're going to go over how to make the base part for your modular cave base. Every modular cave system is going to have one of these bases attached to it. And, this is going to be the bottom. It's got a nice smooth base plate bottom, so it can slide around on a floor. And this is going to be necessary whenever you're disassembling it or moving pieces around. Unlike these panels here, which have the connectivity on the bottom so that they can connect to studs, they don't slide around so well, and they can get it's just easier this way, at least that I've discovered. So we're going to talk about it. First off, I'll talk about how to assemble your base. Now, I've already sort of assembled it, but I'm going to halfway take it apart to discuss reasons why I did things. So, here we go. On the exterior of this base, I've put down blue bar pieces, one wide blue bar pieces all the way around to symbolize water, because, this is going to be a lake cave segment, or at least a little river cave, an underground river segment. So I've got these little blue bars here. Now I have these Technic blocks. Now sadly, I can't find any Technic blocks or Technic bars that are in blue. But I've got a few Technic bars here, and I set up one that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Technic pinholes in it on each side and directly across from one another. And then on the other sides, there is a Technic block or a Technic bar with only one pinhole, and that is directly across from itself on each side. Now, on one side, I've still got the blue bars up, but we'll explain how to do this. And these Technic pin bars, which just Technic bars, I guess, they're going to be absolutely necessary whenever we are connecting pieces of the cave together. See, I've got a little cave segment here, and it's got a green 16 by 16 plate on top to symbolize, the top of a cave system, the mountaintop. And these plates, of course, can be any colors. And we'll discuss toppers later, but that's what I call this. This is a topper. And what we're doing here is the base. So we're going to slide it over here, and let's find, do I have any? Aha, over here, I do have a pin attached. So the idea behind this is, and this pin is really attached to a terrible side. We're going to move to a fun side. We got a fun side over here. Ooh, I like this side. So what we're doing over here is we are going to connect a pin into this. We can connect it, if you want to make your cave square, then you can totally connect the pin anywhere. There's in the center. But if you want to make it off-center or something to give kind of a zigzaggy, more organic approach to a cave, maybe you want to symbolize a crevasse in the center of the cave, so you can pin these things off to the side and allow for room to exist. But you put the pin there, and then we just take this guy and we put it right. And it's not going to do so well yet because it's not really complete. But now we've got two cave segments together, and this will be the basics on that's the basics on how to connect your caves together. And when we complete more cave segments in this show, then I'll bring out more cave segments and really discuss how to go about making it a thing. It's really cool, and I absolutely love playing with these little caves. They're really fun. I got an extra pin there, so I'm going to set it like that. Okay, so to get if you're using a 16 by 16 plate to create the floor of a cave, and the way these pin sections work is that there is a one one brick tall segment underneath the panel that will contain all the connectivity points, the Technic bars. And right now, we've got to make sure that that area can hold this 16 by 16 plate without causing it to break or anything. Because remember, this is the base of a mountain. So there's going to be a lot of weight put on this thing over time. You're going to stack stuff. So what I did here is I found some 6x1s that are blue from my blue section. We got a couple of 6x1s we're going to put on either side of the 1x2 Technic piece that's in the center of this 16 by 16 base plate. And then we can put another 1x4 bar on either side of this 1x8 Technic bar that has pin connectivity in it that I've put on the other side. And then you're just going to copy that all the way around. So you're going to need 4 1x6s and 4 1x4s. Yeah, look at that. Comes out pretty well. And then on the inside, this is where it gets a little fun because, well, no one's going to ever see this inside. So what I've done here is it's probably a mishmash of colors because I just went to the unsorted drawer and I pulled out Lego pieces that I needed. And then I put them periodically through here with guesstimates on weight dispersion. And it's important to remember when you're doing this to ensure that there is, like over here, we've got a spot that I don't think is going to disperse weight very well. So we're going to play with this real quick. Pull this piece out. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, so this 2x2 brick gets slid out one stud on each side, so it will make a little gap in the middle, and that's going to help with stability. And then we got this 1x1, and we're just going to put them kind of diagonal to each other. It's going to look a little chaotic, but it's going to have purpose. And we just separate them by one stud. There we go. And then we got this gap over here. This gap over here is going to need to get filled. And this is the part where you can get creative. There's not really a scientific way to do this. It's more on how it feels to you based on the structure and what's around it. And yeah, and that spot right there I don't like, though. So we're just going to take you, and we're going to slide you up. There we go. And that's got it. All right. So we are... Oh, no, I don't like that piece. We're going to slide that one there, and then we're going to slide this one down one, because we always want to make sure that there's a one stud wide area between these support bricks so that they can get the largest area possible to support. Look at that. Look at that. There is a spot there. And then this guy can slide forward just a teensy-weensy bit. And that makes... Yeah. So that guy can actually go there. Yep. All right. And then that leaves that spot. But that is in the very center. So it's okay if you don't have a lot of support bricks in the center panels. You're normally not going to put a lot of weight on the center. And when you're building this base, and remember guys, this is a lot of creative work. So this is a lot of stuff you can do on your own and come up with in your own fashion. But, okay, there it is. Let's begin with the next step in this process, which is to take out the 16 by 16 panel that I have. And this is just going to slide on top of all this that we've built. And we're just going to clamp it all down. And what we're making here is a nice kind of breadboard thing. I really like making these. You put a panel and then a layer of brick and then another panel, because these Lego structures, when done like this, are incredibly strong and sturdy, especially if you put it all right. And we just make sure it's all patted down. That when you're working with 16 by 16 panels and plates, you want to make sure that you spend the time to push everything down until it starts creaking. That's because it's such a large plate that you can, get misalignments, and then later on your structure may look weird because it just wasn't pressed down enough. And some people use rubber mallets, but I think it's just use a little arm strength in the palm of your hand, but you can do it. And once you've gotten it all down, you've got this nice square that's really quite sturdy. It's not going anywhere. You can drop it and everything. Okay, now we're going to do, you remember just a minute ago, whenever I connected this, I had to worry about it coming apart. Now, we're going to try it again. And this is just going to showcase how awesome this connectivity point is. Boom! Just like that, just like that. No problems. We've done it right. It is supported. This is a sturdy shell. It's a sturdy base. And still is a little creaky though. But with time, those little bit last creaks will go away. And ooh, it makes me excited. Now we can start the build. Oh, it's always difficult making sure that you start your build correctly. And since I was using colored pieces for this particular point, I wanted to make sure I had as much blue as possible. I had to be very careful and take out of only certain boxes and couldn't mix the pieces or I'd lose the blue piece forever. And that's just what I've come to accept. If pieces have laid around too long and I've forgotten which ones are which, then I just throw them in the unsorted box and wait for a friend to resort them. It's just kind of how it has to go. So, remember the bridge. We talked about the bridge. So I've changed up the bridge a bit because of what I discovered while working with this. I found something I wanted to use, and when building these caves, I've discovered that it's best if you come up with 2 or 3 items you want to showcase in the cave, and then kind of build your cave segment around that. So for this one, I wanted to showcase the bridge, and I wanted to showcase this little raft I found in my collection. So we can put the little raft there, and the little bridge. Now at first I wanted to have the bridge go all the way across, but I have this guy here. We're going to take off the green topper. And this dude is a base, and he is here to be a model for me to work by. You know, I need to make sure that the new base module for the cave I create isn't going to be, and we're going to make sure we can get, we're just going to remove that pin. Yeah, you can come over here, pin. Live on the other base for a little while because we got to do a lot of stuff. All right. So when put, is there another pin there? There is another pin there. You. Okay. Go over there. All right, perfect. Okay, so whenever we're doing this, I want to make sure that I'm constantly comparing this new module of the cave to the old base module here. And this was definitely more difficult when creating the first one, but after the first one, I can use I can use any of the bases I've already completed as comparison tools and to make sure I don't screw up the next build. Now, what I have here is this bridge. I was trying to make a little archway bit so that it could be an open-ended bridge, and I wanted to use these pieces right here. They're cool. I don't know where they came from, but they're in my collection. And they have a little square at the bottom, and then they come up into a circlet, like a little pillar. They're really cool. It's a circle, and then a square at the bottom. It's neat. But they were too tall. You see, if I put it here next to this piece I have, it can showcase that it's actually a stud too. It's almost a brick too tall, and it would actually line up with the tiles that I have at the top, so that the module can do the module thing. You know, this tile layer. I'll definitely talk about that more in depth, but nothing can be above this tile layer. Actually, nothing can be above this plate layer that's below the tile layer. The top of each one of these module cave segments will always have a plate layer followed by a tile layer, and that adds to connectivity and ensures durability and strength. And also, if it drops, then that helps keep some stuff together better. These things become pretty durable after construction. It's pretty cool, but these were too high, so I had to scrap that idea. And then I discovered that the 1x8 bars I was using for the bridge were too wide, and this little bitty boat wouldn't be able to go through. So I had to switch them to 1x6 bars. And with since I had found these 2 arches, I decided, and they're 1x6 arches that are just 1 brick tall. They're not the 2 brick tall on each side arch that's 1x6, because there definitely are those. I got the shorter arches, and I had found those, and I really wanted to use them. And then I found these simple little these spacers, or I don't even know what they're called. They're just really tall bricks. There's 2x1 that's really tall and a 1x1 that's really tall. I call them some wall segments, wall chunks, or something like that. But I found 2 1x1s that are like 3 studs tall. Maybe it's 4 studs. 4 or 3 studs tall. And then I found 2 1x2s that are the same height. And using Lego Blind Prime here, hello Lego Blind Prime, and we're going to move you over here, we can see that he can walk underneath this arch with his hat on and have just enough cover to get underneath the arch. And that tells me, okay, this works. The other one gave him more space, more cover, but it was too tall to live in the cave system, judging by this, the comparison cave I have right here. And that meant I had to redesign it just a bit, so that's what I did. I changed out those 1x6s, and then I also went ahead and put some elbows down here between the 1x6 and these 1x4, 1x6 two segments I connected together during the bridge video. So if you want to see how I did that, that's an entire video. But I put these elbows just across so that there's a nice little connection between the 1x6 and the Technic crazy thing I built, and that will add some stability. And Blind Prime, you fell over again. Maybe I have to give you new legs. Your legs are getting a little old. Now, this is going to go over here onto the left-hand side of the lake component so that this part can, the raft can go in the middle. And that's going to give us enough space on the far right-hand side to build some stability points and anchorage to ensure that the roof of this thing is sturdy enough to handle 3 or 4 of these module caves. So we're going to put my bridge off to the side, and we're going to reach in here and start grabbing some pieces out. And when grabbing pieces out, you just building the cave, you want to make sure that you just start really simply with some simple bricks, and then you just move from there. I'm not going to want that one. I'm not going to want that. Maybe we want that for later, though. Yeah, maybe we want this one for later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Where are you at, Mr. Raft? Can you go through this? Can this go? Uh-huh. Yeah, it can. Barely, though. It needs to be a 10 wide. Not really, though. Okay. All right, so this is how I work. I found this cool arch. I'm going to set it off to the side. Now, I got a couple of these pieces. So for one of these corners, we're going to put down a 2x2 brick, and then another corner here, we're going to put down a 2x4 brick, and then a 1x4 bar. Make a nice thick little column there. And that, let's double check, and we can double check that. Actually, we can go ahead and semi-permanently attach this bridge. We're going to need to unattach it in a bit in order to bring in some more pieces, but at the moment, we don't need to do much with it. Just attach. Hey, come on. Yeah, yep, cool. Don't need to attach it hard point-wise. Okay, so that isn't going to work, but let's see if that will work. That will work. Cool. So the raft can go straight across with no problems. It may bounce off a few things, but for the most part, it's not going to have any issues. Nice. And now we can work on building up this section over here. So we've got to build around this corner that we've made with this bridge section. And remember, this far left-hand side can be a little bit bigger, and we can work with that. So let's see what we got in here. Okay. That little baggie of pieces can live there. That little... Good grief, you are just... Oh, oops. Ooh, an elbow. This elbow may be nice. Let's see. Can the elbow do the job over here in the corner? The elbow can do the job. The elbow can do the job indeed. But is that a waste of an elbow? I think it's a waste of an elbow. So, elbow, don't do that job. You are wasted doing that job, but you are not wasted doing this job over here. I'll put an elbow there. Nah. That's going to be nice and sturdy. That's the nice part. That's what I love most about the Technic stuff, is they can get pretty sturdy. But we can put the elbow over here on this side. Yay! We found a use for that elbow. I love finding uses for pieces I randomly find. Okay. Now, the point, one of the key things to remember when building a Lego cave, at least a blind prime modular cave, is don't look at what you're grabbing. You're not picking pieces at anything but kind of random. So you're just going to grab a few pieces and you're going to decide. But it's important to give yourself some parameters, some rules. So let's see. You've got, oh, that's perfect, and that's not according to the rules right now. But that is according to the rules right now, and this one is according to the rules right now. Okay, so according to the rules I've set forth to myself right now, I've got some pieces that I can assemble, but I think that's actually going to be too big. Yeah, it is. So that bar is too big, but this little 1x2 that I found can fit over here next to the bridge. And I don't really like it there, though. Actually, maybe it can fit like that. No. What do I have? Do I have anything over here? Let's see. Aha! No. That isn't something. No. Okay. Make sure I seal that bag. I don't want it to just pop open randomly. That bag doesn't have what I'm looking for. That bag... ooh. Hello, you. What have you got in you? Let's see. Aha! You have what I'm looking for. I was looking for a 1x1 bar. I separate my 1x1 bars so that I have easier access to them. I could put a 1x1 bar right next to that elbow we just put on one edge of the bridge. And now we should have the entire length of the bridge between these two sections. Ooh, I could actually put a 1x1 bar there as well. Let's do that. There's another 1x1 bar, and that 1x1 bar can go right there. So now we've got a 1, 2, 3 studs long on one side, and then 1, 2 studs on the other. And between them we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 studs. It's a bit of a weird, awkward number, but trust me, that number's going to change a lot in the construction of this cave. We're going to use so many slanted pieces, it's going to get wild. I'm probably going to lose track of what's what and where's where, and have to rebuild sections of it. That happens a lot. I get a little over creative sometimes. So, we've got this other piece that is fitting within the rules. Now, these rules I've set forth to myself, because I've mentioned them a few times now, right now is that I want stuff that has a good, sturdy base point, and is more of a structure piece than like a slanty piece or thin piece or any type of cosmetic stuff. I need structure right now. I don't really need cosmetic as much. But this guy is a slanty that is 3 bricks high, and it is 2 bricks wide, and then it slants from 2 bricks wide to only 1 brick wide. Now, this is very useful because over here, where I put this 2x2 section, I can slam down this guy, and also I can take this little 1x2 and I can slip it in there. There we go. Yeah. And that is going to make it 1, 2, 3, and then 4. What that's done for us is it's given us a nice sturdy area over here. At the same time, I don't really want to do it like that. So I'm actually going to mix it up now that I'm thinking about it. And we're going to slide it forward. Can we slide it forward by 1? Is that going to interfere with you, Mr. Raft? Oh, it will interfere with Mr. Raft. Ooh. It's okay, though. We can slide it back. And there we go. Now, that's probably better anyway. After all, we got to give it kind of a washed out look, right? It is, after all, a water effect, so remember that. You are working with kind of a water effect, so keep that in mind while building. And we can put this 1x2 that I found right over here for now, until I figure out another use for it. Let's see. Ooh, that's useful. And that follows the rules, and that doesn't follow the rules at the moment. I just need something... I need a bar. Just need 1 bar to get this going. Maybe 3 bars, actually. Let's see. Okay, so got those 2 pieces, and that's a bar, and that's That's a textured bar. I don't want to use it. That's not something. That's not something. That's not. Aha! Too wide. Too long. Darn it. Okay. I think I found some pieces. Okay. So, we're working on the bridge over here. Ooh. Actually. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah, I see something there. Okay. So we're going to spin this guy around. And by the bridge here, right on the other side of it where we put that elbow, we can now put this little bitty 1x4 bar. And it's going to fit nicely right there. And that is going to help us complete the little bridge section we have going on. And I just totally knocked that piece off. Fit back on there, Mr. Piece. Okay. Now that we've put that bar there, we can take and I'll set these pieces down. So we've got an up slanty, we've got this guy. This guy can come over here. Now this is a 1x2 bar that slants up into a 1x1 bar with a nice slant to 45 degrees-ish. And we want to make sure that we put it just there. So, is that going to affect you, Mr. Raft? Is that going to affect you, Mr. Raft, at all? Yeah, Mr. Raft doesn't like it. Mr. Raft doesn't like it. It's going to have to get higher for Mr. Raft to enjoy it. But we can totally do that. So, we're going to take this 1x2 piece that we found over there. And we're just going to slap that booger right there. And we're going to reach into our bag of tricks over here. And our bag of tricks has proceeded to giving us a 1x1 bar. And we can put that right there to make a nice completion for each side of the bridge. Well, almost completion. I need another 1x1 bar. Another 1x1. All right, we're going to spin it around. And we're going to put that 1x1 bar right. Make sure I'm doing this all in the right order. Slide over there, please. I wasn't centering it. I was out of center. Okay, we're going to put that 1x1 bar right there. So now, this bridge is going to have a 1x1, followed by a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1x4, followed by a 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 elbow. And then it will be concluded with a 1x1 bar for the first layer that is next to the bridge on one side of the bridge. Then we go to the other side of the bridge, and we're starting from the interior side of the bridge, and we've got a 1x2 bar, followed by a 1x1 bar, followed by a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1x4 bar, and then on the elbow end we get a 1x1 bar. And that is what we've got there. Okay, now on this other side, we're almost done making the layer. So we're done making the first layer on the bridge side, and we'll start on the first layer on this side more in depth. We've put a 2x2, but there, I don't really like this piece there yet. We're going to move him off. But we are going to put, what else did I find? Okay, I found these two pieces. So we're going to put a 1x4 brick, a 2x4 brick next to the 2x2 brick that we've put on the corner directly across from the bridge. And then we can put this 1x1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this 1x6 bar right there. Yeah, no. We'll put it back a step. So you have this 2x2 brick, followed by a 2x4 brick, followed by a 1x6 bar that is pushed back so that it's level with the edge. It's on the very edge of the 16x16 panel. And then we come down here and we've got this 2x4 brick that will finish it out and end on the corner of the other panel to give us 16 studs across. And another reason why I like working with the 16 stud is because it's fun. Now what we've done here is we've given ourselves kind of a little inlet on that side, and that's going to be nice because I can make a little start of a pier, like just a little bitty pier. And then that can actually, when we've attached that section, say we want to attach it over here to this side, and boom, we've got this crazy stuff going on over here. But We can put the pier right there. And he'll take a step up for something to get there, but also it will kind of symbolize why the water's not going into, say, this cave, because there's this little brick layer. Now, we could also do it this way and have the water going directly into the cave, but then it can just be like that's where the water ends. And that's what I really like about doing these cave sections. And I played a lot of Minecraft, and when I went blind, it was a chore for me to get off of that addiction. I tell you that. Ooh, that was difficult, but it helped me out a lot to play with these guys, and that's why I'm kind of bringing it to you. All right. Ooh, I dropped that off again. Now that we're done with the first layer, it's time to move on to second layer. And the second layer is going to be a little more fun because we get to play with some slanties. So second layer on the side of the bridge that had the 1 followed by the elbow, we're going to put a little slanty up, a 2 brick tall. Is that 2 brick tall or is that 3 brick tall? Oh yeah, no, that's 3 brick tall. A 3 brick tall slanty up piece that slants up at a 45-degree angle to give us a 1 brick wide topper. And then for this back end, we're going to take this. Can we take that one? Nope, we can't use the 1x8 yet. 1x8 is just a little too long. And do I want to use these poles? Ooh, yeah, I could totally use these 2 poles. So I have these 2 poles here that I was going to use for another part of this build, but I think they'd be really kind of fun if I put them on either end of this little open area that I made for kind of a pier outlook. So I'm just going to put them there because I think they'd just be fun there. That's the only reason. We need more bars, so we need more bars. Let's look for more bars. Found a bar, and found a bar. Ooh, no, that's not the type of bar we need right now, but we could use that one. Could we use that one? No, we can use, no. We got, ooh, that's a piece that needs to get saved. We're just gonna, oh, I found something fun. Yeah, that's just gonna go right here. Okay. We got these 3 bars here, and what do we got? I don't need L. No, I don't need that either. Come on now. No, you're too long. You're too long. Give me something. No. And